Hey guys, Samani Brain here, welcome to Practical Knowledge. Today we have a hands-on video demonstrating a quick and effective way to organize your day. It's something that I personally use and only requires a calendar, a list, and a few minutes of your time. The main part is taken from the book How to Become a Straight-A Student by Cal Newport, and despite the title, we can apply these concepts not only to our academic life, but also to our professional and personal lives. Additionally, I'm using Notion to demonstrate the method, but feel free to use your own notebook, planner, Google Calendar, or any other tool that works for you. But if you want to know how to use Notion to do that, please let me know in the comments, okay? Let's get started by recording all of the tasks and deadlines in the calendar. I already filled it out to save time. You can categorize them as much as you want. For example, I have work tasks, personal tasks, and you can also describe the activity. You can create a checklist, okay? Now, once everything is recorded, your obligations won't be floating around your mind and you won't risk forgetting anything. The next step is to define which activities you will perform during the day, and for that, you need a list. But first, let me show you how we can manage this list. I utilize a due date, which informs me of the deadline, but I also include a due date, which is the date I plan to perform the task. For example, if I have a lecture scheduled for March 21, I need to prepare myself beforehand, right? In this case, I can set today as the day to prepare the presentation. And what happens is that this task will be added to my daily list. Another thing is that I can previously set the due date for some tasks. For example, if I have to pay the rent on March 30, I can set the due date to March 30, and when this day comes, this task will be already added to the daily list. So this is the list I'll be tracking throughout the day. While I have a calendar showing all the tasks, this list provides a clear view of what I need to focus on today. Also, I don't track things like exercising, water intake, or finding time to unwind because they are already part of my routine. However, if there is something you want to make a habit of, I strongly recommend putting in your daily list. For example, I keep the task of reading a chapter of a book on my daily list because it's something I want to remember. So as much as you can, try to keep this list simple and straightforward, because our first instinct is to fill the entire day with activities. Somehow we believe that we are only productive if we make use of every hour of the day. However, I think you have already figured out that this is unrealistic because unexpected events can come up, like a new task assigned by your boss, a deadline moved forward, a relative in town. These situations are out of your control, and at the end of the day, you may find that you were unable to complete even half of your busy list. Sound familiar? And this is important. This list needs to be realistic. The goal here is not to cram everything into one day at all costs, but harder to find out how many of the tasks you actually have time to accomplish. It's okay to be a little pessimistic when scheduling your day. Leave gaps in your schedule for unexpected events. For example, if you plan to spend half an hour on a task, allocate 1 hour for it. That way, if something comes up, you may have time to address it without affecting other activities. And don't worry if you can't fit all the tasks into your schedule for the day. They are recorded in your calendar, so you won't forget them and you can address them for future dates. Now, let's talk about some situations that you may encounter. It's important to recognize that not all tasks can be completed in one day. Some tasks, like work projects, require multiple steps and may take weeks or even months to complete. Similarly, reading an entire book may take several days or weeks, depending on the length and complexity of the book. Therefore, in order to accomplish a large task, it can be helpful to break it down to smaller ones. This approach is discussed in books such as The Motivation Myth by Jeff Hayden and Atomic Habits by James Clear. By the way, I have videos of these two books on my channel, which I will leave in the card for you. So if I plan to make a video about procrastination, for example, it involves studying the topic, writing a script, recording the video, editing it, creating a thumbnail, and finally publish it. I simply cannot do all of these tasks in one day, and when I think about this process, it can be overwhelming sometimes because the point that I am today studying the topic, for example, is too far from where I want to be, which is publishing the video. So what I do is set a goal for each step of the process. While I have a general idea of what is necessary to make a video, creating a list of what I need to accomplish makes it more concrete. This helps me in two ways. Firstly, it allows me to see the progress of a larger task as each step is completed. And secondly, it serves me as motivator because completing more steps moves me closer to my goal of releasing the video. If you're writing an article, it can be helpful to work on each step individually. Although the text must be connected, you can focus one day on the introduction, another day or days on the literature review, and then on the content, conclusion, and of course one day to review everything. And what about new tasks? For example, a professor may announce the date of an upcoming exam, a friend wants to catch up tomorrow night, your bicycle tire goes flat and it's fixing. I used to try adding every new task to my calendar as soon as I became aware of it, but it took some time to fill out the information. Now, I simply write down every new task and event on a piece of paper and leaves the planning for when I work on the calendar. And speaking of working on the calendar, what would be the best time of the day to do this planning and fill the daily list? Well, this is personal. There are people who prefer to do this the night before because they can simply look at the daily list and get started the next day. Others prefer to do this first thing in the morning when they are all rested. In other words, you decide what is best for you. Personally, I do this planning in the morning. It's the moment when I get those pieces of paper, I upgrade my calendar with the new tasks, fill out my daily list, and it's all good. Once I have everything recorded in the calendar, the pieces of paper are no longer necessary, and the entire process takes no more than 10 minutes. So that's it. What did you think? I know that everyone's routine is different, and my goal was to provide insights you can use to improve your own routine, and also to show you a simple way that even if you lose track, everyone experiences a lack of motivation, fatigue, and with this method, all you have to do is go back, update your calendar, and move on. I hope you found this video relevant, and if you do, don't forget to share it. I'll leave it with another great video right here. Be safe, guys, and stay tuned.